The throne room of Virex Prime was silent except for the slow, uneven drip of blood onto obsidian stone. Queen Salith of the Karneth Dominion lay crumpled at the foot of her own throne, her iridescent armor split open, the royal sigil cracked in half. The bioluminescent veins along her dark violet skin flickered weakly, like dying stars. Once, her presence alone had made entire species bow. Now, even the automated sentries had shut down, fooled by forged command codes. She had been betrayed. And the only being left alive in the room, the only one who could hear her labored breathing, was a human. Captain Jonah Hale of the Terran Diplomatic Guard stood frozen a few meters away, his weapon lowered, his heart hammering. Moments ago, the Karneth High Council had accused him of treason, of orchestrating the coup. Then the assassins struck, cloaked and precise, slaughtering counselors and guards alike. They had failed to kill the queen, but they had made sure she would die slowly. "Do not come closer," Salith hissed, her voice barely above a whisper. Her compound eyes focused on him with a mixture of fury and pain. "You are forbidden to touch me, human." Jonah swallowed. Karneth law was absolute. To touch the queen without permission was a crime punishable by death, regardless of species, regardless of intent. He knew the rule. Every human envoy did. He also knew something else. If he did nothing, Salith would be dead within minutes. "Your Majesty," he said carefully, stepping closer despite her warning, "you're losing too much blood." Her mandibles twitched in something that might have been bitter amusement. "Spare me your concern," she whispered. "Your kind has already taken enough from this galaxy." Jonah flinched, but he didn't stop. His visor scanned her wound, data scrolling rapidly. Critical. Organ failure imminent. KHARNeth blood type, royal variant. No compatible supplies available. No med drones. No healers. The palace systems were still locked down by the traitors. And the queen was right about one thing. He was forbidden to touch her. Jonah knelt anyway. Salith watched him through fading vision, anger burning even as her strength drained away. Humans were chaos made flesh, short-lived, emotionally reckless, impossible to predict. She had allowed one into her court as a gesture of peace, against the advice of nearly everyone. And now she lay dying at his feet. "I command you," she said weakly, forcing authority into her voice, "step back." Jonah removed his helmet. "If you command me," he said quietly, "I'll obey. And you'll die." Her eyes narrowed. "That is, not your decision." "No," he agreed. "It's yours. So make it knowing the truth." He held up his wrist-mounted med unit and turned it so she could see. "There's one option," he continued. "It's experimental. Human blood plasma, modified, filtered, converted. It might stabilize you long enough for help to arrive." She stared at the display, then at him. "And the cost?" she asked. Jonah didn't hesitate. "Severe trauma. Possible death. For me." For the first time since she had been stabbed, Salith looked genuinely shaken. "You would risk your life," she whispered, "for a queen who mistrusts your species, who just accused you of treason?" Jonah met her gaze. "I'd do it for anyone who didn't deserve to be left bleeding on the floor," he said simply. Silence stretched between them. Finally, Salith exhaled a shuddering breath. "If you touch me without consent," she said, "my people will hunt you to the edge of the stars." Jonah activated the injector. Then give me consent, he said. Her voice trembled as she spoke the ancient words. You may touch. Pain exploded through Jonah's arm as the device drew his blood, processed it, and injected it directly into Salith's shattered core. He bit down on a cry, vision blurring as alarms screamed inside his skull. Salith screamed too. Her body arched as brilliant crimson and gold light surged through her veins, her bioluminescence flaring violently. The stone beneath her cracked, ancient runes igniting as if awakened from centuries of slumber. This is wrong, she gasped. Your blood burns. Jonah collapsed to one knee, forcing himself to stay conscious. Yeah, he panted. Humans tend to do that. The injector beeped once, then shut down. For a terrifying moment, nothing happened. Then Salith's bleeding slowed. Her shattered armor fused at the edges. Her breathing steadied, deep and resonant, power flooding back into her frame. Jonah slumped forward, consciousness slipping. The last thing he felt was a presence vast, ancient, and suddenly close, wrapping around his fading mind. He woke restrained by light. Not chains, energy filaments, gentle but unyielding, holding him upright in a chamber of living crystal. His head throbbed, every muscle screaming. Across from him stood Queen Salith. Alive. Fully restored, her presence overwhelming, eyes blazing with authority and something far more dangerous. Awareness. You should be dead, she said softly. Jonah winced. People keep saying that. She stepped closer, studying him like a puzzle she could not solve. My blood accepted yours, she continued. Do you understand what that means, human? He shook his head slowly. It means, she said, that you are bound to me. His stomach dropped. Bound how? Salith's voice lowered. Karneth royalty carries a genetic and psychic lineage. When stabilized by an external source, the bond imprints. Your life is now tied to mine. Jonah stared at her. So if you die, you will die, she finished. And if you die, I will feel it. The air between them crackled. I didn't mean to enslave myself to an alien monarchy, Jonah muttered. Her mandibles curved slightly. Nor did I mean to bind myself to a human, she said. Yet here we are. The truth of the betrayal soon emerged. 3 counselors had conspired with an outside empire, planning to sell Karneth sovereignty in exchange for immortality technology. Salith's survival shattered their plan. They were executed within hours. Jonah expected to be imprisoned or exiled. Instead, Salith dismissed the guards and faced him alone. You violated the highest law of my people, she said. He nodded. I know. You saved my life, she continued. He nodded again. She studied him for a long moment. You are forbidden to touch me, she said softly, echoing her dying words from the throne room. Jonah's jaw tightened. Then I'll leave, he said. If that's what you want. Her eyes softened, just slightly. No, she said. You misunderstand. She stepped closer, placing one clawed hand over his heart. He felt it instantly, resonance, warmth, connection. You were forbidden, she said. Now, you are chosen. The galaxy would reel from the announcement. A human bound to the alien queen. A living symbol of alliance, of risk, of impossible trust. Jonah Hale would no longer be just a diplomat. He would be her shield. Her anchor. Her constant reminder that even in betrayal and bloodshed, Compassion could rewrite destiny. And Queen Salith, once alone atop an unassailable throne, would never again face the dark without the human who touched her when no one else dared.